Welcome to the Hybrid Soul Countdown. I'm Kelly Kinkaid, and today I'd like to welcome my guest, Alex Isley. How are you doing today?
Hi, Kelly. I'm great. I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Good, good. When we hear your name, of course, if you're music lovers and you hear the last name, the first question we go, Isley, is she related to the Isley Brothers? So please tell us your affiliation with that musical family.
Yes. Okay. They are all brothers, so I'm related to all of them.
Yes, yes, yes.
But Ernie, the guitar player, is my dad, and then everyone else there are my uncles. So
Amazing, amazing. And I think what I love about you, Alex, you come from this. You have that fan base because I'm a person who is into discovery, and I heard your beautiful voice a while ago on your song "Orbit." Into orbit, and then I also, in doing my research, I wanted to find out one of the first songs I also discovered was Forum. How did with the Orbit song, how did you all connect?
that was a while ago. That was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And he had contacted my management and just expressed how much he loved Into Orbit and wanted to use it. And so we just went from there. And the way he flipped it was just really beautiful. I mean, I love sampling and the art of that. So,
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yes, coming from such a musical family with so many years of history in the music industry, was you stepping into the music industry? Was that something that you all always knew you were going to do? How did you know that that's what you wanted to do?
I always knew. I've just had a passion to perform ever since I was like 4 or 5 years old. Um, so yeah, I always knew that this was what I wanted to do. I think once I graduated college,
Mhm.
I I had more of a vision and a handle on how to go about things. I mean, still a lot that I had to learn at that point, and I'm still learning now. But in college I had my first computer, I had GarageBand, I had a mic so I could get an idea of how I sounded, on record. And so that was kind of the beginning of me stepping into where I am now.
And I want to acknowledge, like, you really took it serious because you have a degree in jazz studies, correct?
I do, yeah.
That's amazing. When I hear your music, I actually can, I hear all the jazz in your voice, the melodic tones and stuff. As a jazz major, who are some of your musical influences as far as when you first started?
So I first started really singing jazz in high school. The vocal jazz ensemble was really my introduction to that. Ella Fitzgerald, I think, was the first person that I really dove into.
Mhm.
Um, I love Sarah Vaughan. I love Carmen McRae, Nancy Wilson, Lambert Hendricks and Ross, even newer people like Kurt Elling.
Yeah.
And but Ella was the introduction, I think, vocally for me.
Oh, that's beautiful. And not only are you a singer, you're an arranger, a songwriter, and you've worked with many people. And in my prepping for my interview today, I talked to my good friend Ninth Wonder, and he told me something. He's like, "We got a whole project together," and I
We do.
said, and I said, "Let me ask this: Are y'all holding out? Tell me about your experience working with a Ninth Wonder."
I'm trying to remember how that actually came to happen. I think we just connected online. I honestly don't remember because this was a few years ago,
Yeah.
and in the height of the pandemic, 2020 was when we really locked in and
Mhm.
just were bouncing stuff back and forth. And that was a full circle moment for me because I really got into Ninth and Little Brother when I was in college, and I just really I wanted to work with Ninth and his
Yeah.
production. So I'm excited for what we've done.
Yeah, I told him y'all got it. Y'all can't hold that. Now that I discovered that, I was like, what a whole project. working with a lot of people in hip hop, because you've worked with Sir, you've also worked with Roddy Ricch. How is it with that musical community, just finding people that you want to work with?
So for Roddy, I was actually hit up by Ty Dolla, who that's my guy, and it was him and I in a session, and he, I mean, I don't know if people like really know his musicality, like he's a musician,
Yeah.
and just so versatile in what he does, and so that was really easy to just vocally do what I did, you know, with what he had already laid down. So that's how the Roddy feature came. But
Yeah.
there's so much music, and musicality within hip hop. So there's definitely something to appreciate and to respect. So I love working with, I mean, I'm versatile when it comes to who I listen to and who I'm inspired by. So I love
Yeah.
working with, you know, like a bunch of people, you know,
Right.
whoever. I'm just open. So
Right. Will we ever hear you spit something like rhyme
oh
wise?
no. Oh, not a chance. No. That is not my skill set.
I'm looking forward to coming from the catalog from the Isley Brothers. I know you did a cover of At Your Best.
Mhm.
Are there any other songs in the future that we would hear you? Because I hear you do a lot of different covers, but as far as like with your father's music.
You know, I don't know if because there's so much in their catalog
Yeah.
to choose from. So I don't know. I would love to visit that and think about what I would like to do next, but I don't know. It's hard to choose.
You could do, like, you know how Natalie Cole did that whole album? Like they have so much
Yeah.
catalog. You could just do a whole EP or album of the Isley Brothers songs and
I
nail
don't
it.
know.
You heard it
One day
first, right?
that would be crazy to do, but
Right.
that would be fun.
Yes. So let's get into your music. We have a new project, Marigold, and you collaborated with Jack Dine. Who is
Mhm.
Jack Dine? Tell me about him.
So Jack Dine, he's from the Bronx, based out here in LA. An amazing producer. We met almost exactly 4 years ago. 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and we just started creating. I didn't really know him, or I knew, you know, who he had worked with and his and some of his sound, but I didn't know him as a person. So, but we met 3 years ago and just started creating, and we liked what we were doing, so we just kept it going, and we started meeting regularly, and then we were like, okay, well, let's put out a project. So we put out the Wilton EP
Yeah.
in November 2019, and then we're like, okay, well, maybe we should just keep going and see what happens.
Right.
And
Right.
so but then once the pandemic happened and we, you know, were forced to slow all the way down, but we still had the desire to just put out more. He's very, very passionate about what he does, and he just loves the music and to create. And so sharing that same passion with him, it's very easy to work with him.
Right. Amazing synergy that you all have. And as far as
Thank
with his
you.
production, what instruments do you play?
I play some keys. I learned what I know as far as piano. I learned that in college, and just learning seventh chords, jazz
Yeah.
chords. So yeah, I play keys. I've started the guitar, so
Okay.
that's a hard one, but I'm going to get some chords down on guitar at one way or another. I'm going to learn. So
That's beautiful. I love the music community. As far as I saw you do an IG live recently. I sent you a note about that with We Are King. Um,
mhm.
what how often, what's your musical process as far as just writing? Is it a daily thing? What's your inspiration when you're putting music together?
When I'm writing, I just try to really be in the moment of how I'm feeling or what it is that I want to convey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I really have a process, but I like that I don't. I like that it's kind of unpredictable as far as like when inspiration hits me. And 2020 really, 2020 really was the time when I reminded myself like it's okay to not be productive every single second. Like
Yeah.
rest and take care of myself. Um, so I don't force it but when I am inspired, if I have my phone, I'll do a voice memo. If I can write something down lyrically that I have, then I'll do that. But I just try to be in the moment and be vulnerable and be open to what it is that I feel.
Do you ever feel pressured as far as when you see other artists out cranking out music? Do you feel pressured as far as releasing music like continuously?
I think sometimes, yeah. But then I remember, when people online will be like, "What's next? Like, when are you dropping new music?" I know it's because they like and support what I do, so I'm really grateful for that. But I just gotta stay within myself and remind myself like quality is priority.
Yeah.
Um, at the end of the day, I don't want to just put out stuff like every other day and it's not quality. It's not something that I'm proud of or that I feel ready to share. So yeah, that pressure hits sometimes, but
Yeah. I get this. You seem this calm energy around you. Like, does Alex ever get like turned up, like on stage? Is there like an alter ego when you're performing?
um, I don't know honestly, because I don't really watch playback of me performing, so I don't know.
Yeah.
That's another place where I'm just in the moment. So I feel like I am a little more just open and I don't know if I'm ever turned up per se, but I might be.
Look, check me out on the next project. That's funny. Working with and I keep on going back to this music community. I'm a friend of Glasper, Rob Glasper. That's the song that you have with him now, the Still song. I love that's probably Still Wonder. That's one of my favorite songs. I feel like you got into one of my sessions of kind of mourning a heartbreak. And I'm like, how does she know to write these words? That's something that I could have told that person. Where did that come from? Those lyrics and working with
It
Rob,
came from experience.
girl.
To listen, because I can relate. But I was just in the moment of I wasn't grieving per se. I wasn't grieving anything at the time that I was writing, but
Yeah,
I tapped into. I had felt that way at some point in my life, and so I tapped into that moment behind me. Like, how did I feel in this moment of reflection of missing somebody? And so but it came from experience. And I remember that day Jack and I had gotten a rough version of everything, like everything vocally, I think was pretty much done. And there was all this open space at the end. And I was like, it would be cool to have somebody like solo or something. And then I was like, what if I call Robert? And Jack was like, do you think he would do it? And I was like, it would be amazing if he did. Let's see. And so, and Robert, that's like my brother. Robert was very much just like, whatever you need, I'm here. And
yeah.
I mean, just put his signature on it at the end. It's just it's beautiful.
It tops it off. Being in the studio, that's a session that I would love to sit in and just hear him put his sauce on it, hear the mix, all of it coming together. And I'm curious, as far as you worked with Terrace Martin, how was that process working with him in the studio? Because you've done a couple of things with him.
Yeah, Terrace is another one Terrace is like a big brother to me,
Yeah.
very much a mentor. And us both being from the West Coast, growing up here, being really from here, and just someone that I really admire and respect. And So working with him is just that's another one. It's just very easy and
Yeah.
organic when we create. So
Uh, and as far as this current project, Marigold, what's your favorite song off this project?
oh gosh. I feel like it changes. So it had I think my favorite song was Too Bad I Forget.
Uh-huh.
I think right now it's probably Under the Moon.
Okay. Yes.
So it'll change in another few days, probably.
Always. Always. What's been when you released it, what's been like your favorite responses from the fans and people, maybe from your family, fans? What's been the best, like, oh, thank you?
um, all of it really,
Yeah.
honestly. Lately I've been seeing comments like Alex is singing the way I would if I were in love, or Alex sings about how I want to feel being in love. So the love part and the being in love and them connecting that way, like that's always really sweet. But really, um, all of the comments and the feedback and the love is just it's amazing.
It's beautiful when we look at your whole body of work. It's such a vibe, and you stay on that wave of things. And I say, please continue to keep that vibe going for us. When we look back at your earlier projects too, when I was on the live, people were like, please sing La Brea, La Brea. What is it a favorite EP that you've done or a song that you've done from your earlier workings?
I don't think I have a favorite.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm proud of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I'm proud of all of it. So I don't have a favorite per se. I love it all equally. I know that's like a cop out answer, but I really do.
Because you have the butterflies behind you while we're talking, it all makes sense. It all makes sense, Alex. I love it. I think maybe it's the West Coast vibe. Where do you see the evolution from the start of your musical career till now? Where do you think that you've grown when putting out these projects?
I think there was a tremendous shift when I became a mom, and so
Mm-hmm.
that was 2016. So that was between my luxury album and the Beauty of Everything Part One. So
Yeah.
there's kind of a uh, time gap in there, but so that was when I had my daughter, and aside from just getting back into myself or a newer version of myself, I'm a mom, and so finding my groove with her, and then I just became more intentional with my time and how I create, and so that shift really changed things
Yeah.
for me.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. And where will we see Alex Isley perform in the upcoming months? Uh, will you come on the West Coast, overseas? What's in store for you?
So nothing that I can announce, but I'm working on coming everywhere
Okay.
as soon as possible. I mean, West Coast, definitely want to come everywhere to the East Coast. I mean, everywhere overseas, UK, especially London. They show so much love there. I want to go to South Africa, like everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm working on it all now.
Fair. I'm looking forward to it. I will be in the stands or on stage or on the floor watching this because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful story. And I want to just thank you for just not stopping and keeping going, and continue to put out more music. And
Thank
I'd
you.
love for you to just introduce Love Always for our bonus song for the Hybrid Soul Countdown.
Love, here's love always. And thank you again for having me.
Thank you. It's Alex Isley. Please support her. You can and let us know where they can follow you on social media.
So you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Everywhere is at Love Alex Isley.
And please support her current project, Marigold. It's the Hybrid Soul Countdown. I'm Kelly Kinkaid. Thank you.